Hi, everybody, and welcome to week 13 on reading development in early childhood. So, this week we're going to focus on just all the things that help children eventually become readers. We're not asking them to yet, but we're asking them to learn about um, all of the things that eventually make up words and story structure and reading structure um, that can help them become readers later on. So right now we'll do it just like we've talked about in all of our classes, and we'll talk about in other child development classes through play. They've got to learn to enjoy reading, and as we've learned, kids learn through play. So we're not trying to do anything formal yet. We're not saying, "Hey, kids, we need to learn our phonics." We're not doing phonics worksheets, but we're learning phonics without realizing that we're learning phonics necessarily through things like rhyming, through syllable counting, through sound blending. These are all crucial parts of helping young children understand how language works by by developing these skills and developing them early, hopefully, we can make learning to read more accessible and enjoyable for them. That whole learning through play thing. So when I say learning through play, there's actually a term used in your book, playing with language, but I don't think that your book does a very good job of explaining it really. And this concept goes beyond basic reading, and it involves actively engaging children in exploring words in fun and creative ways, like we just said. For example, you could share nursery rhymes. When you sing songs, you're doing this. When you encourage children to recite parts of rhyming books together, so probably things that you're already doing. Just know that you're not doing it for nothing, and there is a purpose to it. So keep it up. You can introduce a word of the day too that children can use. They can draw the word. They can play with it. They can try exploring wordplay like idioms and alliteration. And using children's names is another fun way to get them curious about letters, which makes me think of the song, the name song, like well, my first name, Aaron. Aaron, Aaron, Bo Baron, Banana, Fana, Fo Farron, me, my, Mo Marin, Aaron. And kids love that. And they love to hear everybody's name done that way because without realizing that they're going, whoa, you can change my name. My name can sound different, and they're realizing that different letters make that happen. So it's a great way to get them to start recognizing what letters can do and different sounds can do. So all of these activities that I've just mentioned make up language, um, or they make language interactive, and they invite children to engage with words in meaningful and memorable ways that will stick with them. So that's a big part of the chapter. We also look some at assessment and observation, which we've, of course, already talked about, but now we look at it with this beginner reading focus. And we'll look at ways that we can make all of the things that we talk about fit diverse learners and learners with differing abilities. And we'll talk about engaging families, ways that you can do that with these, which you've been doing with your key assessment, or maybe you haven't yet, and this will give you some good ideas for how to do this with your families. So I am going to share my screen with you. Okay. So this is not where I'm meant to be. We're going to get to this. But here's the week. Just a module overview like I just did. Maybe that one's a little bit shorter than all my talking. And then this week, you're going to, in the same textbook we've been using, you're going to read chapter 8. And you're going to take a quiz over it as you go. This quiz is pretty long, but if you haven't noticed by now, my quizzes just go through the chapter. It's just my way of kind of keeping you engaged with the chapter as you read, helping you be an active reader, and making sure that you're getting all the key concepts of the chapter. So do make sure you have a chunk of time set aside when you go to do that. And then I want you to explore this webpage, which is this. It's a chapter from an online textbook, which isn't really very long. There's here's a little intro about phonological awareness, but then a lot of this is standards that are being met in another state. But then we've got some examples, some video examples. There are 4 videos on this link, And this one is brief and will help you understand the difference if you're not quite getting phonological versus phonemic, and all the different things that you'll read about. This helps you. Here's letters versus phonemes. I just think the visuals help put it all together. And then some of this stuff is covered in the other chapter you read, but some of it's got, it might be more clear to you this way. And then we get to this other video. And below this video is the part that might really interest you. Phonological development strategies. So it gives you real ideas that you can use in your classroom, broken down by category, recognize and produce rhyming words. Here's a video example of picture sorts if you've got preschoolers that are ready for that. It's just a good, quick little classroom idea. And then here we go back to more ideas. Count, pronounce, blend, and segment syllables into spoken words and some ways to do that. And all these links are good too. So just more ideas that you can use for your classroom or your key assessment if you're still looking for ideas. And then here's a little way that you can test yourself to know how you're doing on the concepts covered in this chapter. So easy little or nice little no risk quiz that you can see if you're understanding the differences in the concepts here. And then, like I said, covers adapting for diverse learners, technology. I don't think I mentioned that earlier, but technology, and working with families. So that is our week. Actually, no, it's not. We're also going to talk about, you're going to have a class discussion about nursery rhymes, particularly Mother Goose nursery rhymes and flannel boards, if you use them in your classroom or not, and what successes or not successes you've had with them. And then just to keep you on track with your key assessment, I want you to tell me about the next two activities that you're going to do. And I want you to tell me when you're going to implement two of your activities. And this is just, like I said, this is just to keep you on track for your key assessment that will be due in a couple weeks. So as always, if you have any questions, please reach out, and thanks for watching.